Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe, and I wanted to do a little impressions review jammy on Quantum Break on the Xbox One. My copy I had gotten when it first came out. I had a ton of credit at GameStop. My friend tends to take things and return them for me, or used to, not anymore. And I just amassed a ton of credit, and I really wanted to play this. So I said, you know what, get me it. So he picked it up for me. I usually wait, so this was very rash of me to buy this like on release. It also came with Alan Wake, the download for Alan Wake, The Signal, and The Writer, which were the two DLC pieces for the Alan Wake game. I had originally beat Alan Wake. I hadn't beat The Signal. I had beat The Signal, I hadn't beat The Writer. So I beat The Writer, and then I think if you were to pre-order, or I don't remember what it was, you get the American Nightmare, which I also beat now, and that was pretty good as well. So I love Alan Wake, so I figured gotta pick up Quantum Break and check out what the whole big deal is, because so far Remedy puts out really great games. It's sort of reminiscent of Max Payne in terms of the gameplay. You are the dude on the cover, whose name I can't remember, but he played the Human Torch in the original Fantastic Four movie that came out like, what, 10 years ago or so, maybe more. Is his name on the back? Yeah, I don't know his name. Anyhow, you'll notice quite a few actors in it that you will recognize. From one guy from Game of Thrones is in it. I don't watch Game of Thrones, but I did look him up afterwards. And Aidan Gillen, whatever. So you will recognize some of the actors, which is cool. The game is sort of like Max Payne mixed with time control, so you're able to stop time, build a shield up, and like the bullets stop in front of you, zip around and like knock people out and stuff, and pick up kind of normal guns, rifles and shotguns and pistols and things, different kinds, and upgrade your abilities. You want to collect these things called Chronon. It's like a blue glowing orb, and you upgrade your abilities and get stronger, or maybe can do something for a longer period of time, or whatever. That's like the basis of the game. But it also has some great TV show put in there. So there's a TV series that changes depending on what you do in the game. Not so much in like the action segments, but after each act, it's broken up into 5 acts, and after each action segment, it then will go into something called a junction. And what the junction is now you're controlling the bad guy. So it really gives a human side to the bad guy and shows you their thought process to a degree. And you get to choose as Paul Serene. He's the bad guy, who's played by Aidan Gillen, or whatever his name is. He plays a really cool bad guy. I liked his bad guy. He made me dislike him, but sort of feel bad a little. So just interesting to be able to play both sides. Because now you're playing the game normally. Are you going to play as the bad guy and do something really crazy, because that's what he would do? Or are you going to be sort of partial towards the good guy and maybe skew what the bad guy does? When you play as the bad guy, it's just a choice. You just get one choice. And whatever choice you choose changes the TV show that they show you, how things play out. It also, what else does it do? It like just tweaks things a little bit. Then, after you play that segment, they show you a TV show. The TV show is like 20 to 30 minutes, usually around 22 minutes or so, and very well acted, some really cool effects, and it gives you more backstory and really livens up each of the characters in the game that you may look at and go, okay, that's a big muscly guy with guns, okay, but now they've turned him into a main character in the game, and you get to see some of where he's coming from. One of the characters was a bad guy who's kind of like a heavy. He's really good at fighting, and he has, martial arts and guns and this and that. They show you him going home, and he's like tending to his pregnant wife. So you see like this human side of the bad guys. So it's very interesting, because there isn't really much of like a black and white. There's sort of a gray area in this game. There's a very big gray area in terms of who's really in the right, who's really in the wrong, and you're kind of figuring that out as you go. Lots of time travel stuff, lots of like ethical and moral choices after each segment. The game is about 10 to 13 hours. I think I spent 13 hours on it. You can collect little bits of information throughout the game that will give you more backstory. The only problem with that was a lot of it is reading. So you'll go through like emails or logs, and you'll just read. And unless you really want to get into like the nitty gritty, you may not pick up as much as the next guy who does read everything. But you can kind of skim it. I skimmed most of it and then like got the gist of it. Oh, okay, this is an email from this guy to this guy, and it references this. You can go back and play it again and make the opposite choice, and that does, as I said, tweak things a bit. The TV show is streamed to your Xbox, so some people were having issues where they were getting a lot of buffering, or like, you know, whatever problems streaming it. You can go and download the episodes to your Xbox, and it just comes off the console. Then there is no buffering. It just buffers off the console instead of off the internet. I thought the story was good. I don't think it's beaten Alan Wake for me. Alan Wake the bar was very high with that game. It was creepy. It was interesting. I wanted to know what was going to happen. I cared about the character. I care about some of the characters in this game, and I think the way they did the TV episodes was really cool. Sort of reminded me of something like what a Sega CD game would do or a 3DO game would do with full motion video, except the production value, the production quality is way better. It's like something you'd see on television. I thought it definitely could become its own spin-off if they wanted to. You know, put something on TV or maybe on the Xbox network or whatever. If there's more to go with it, I don't really want to ruin the ending. But there are some twists and turns in the story, depending on what you choose, so that's really cool. As I said, picking up the notes and the emails was a little arduous. The gunplay was fun, and all the moves and things you can do was fun. I did die maybe like 20 times throughout the game, but mainly from falling, because there are some platforming segments, and I'm just not really great at those usually. But overall, I would say the difficulty was perfect. On normal. On easy, it's probably too easy, and then on hard, I hear it's pretty good too, but I mean, I usually don't have the time to invest to play a game on hard mode. But you can go back, as I said, and do the opposite now on your choices and change the game to a degree, and then, you know, collect whatever you missed in terms of the little pickups and stuff like that. Overall, there was some like things that came out of left field with the story. I enjoyed the characters. I thought it had great character development and made me really look at the human side of each character, as I had said. The main character was likable enough, and his brother is played by the dude with the big ears from The Hobbit and Lost. I can't think of his name. He's Irish, I think. I don't think he's English. I think he's Irish in real life. So, you know, it had a lot of pretty big name celebrities or big name actors, and it's just different than what you see now. Do I think it was worth the $60 I plunked down? Probably not, but I did get those extra games that I wanted to play. I know they all do come with Alan Wake. I didn't think they came with American Nightmare unless you pre-ordered it, which is what I did. But, and again, I don't usually do that. But for the single-player game being 10 to 13 hours, is it worth it for $60? Probably not. You're probably looking at a really good game at around the $30 to $40 price range. I would give the game like 8 out of 10. I don't know if I'll go back right away and play the other side. I did go back and just pick the other choices for the achievements, but I might go back one day and pick up the extra items and things that I missed. Overall, it kept me engaged, and I thought it was really good. You know, it's kind of hard sometimes to get a single-player game that really wants you to keep playing. One reviewer did say, and I would agree with him on this, you kind of get most of your powers like by mid-game. So by the end of the game, you're not really getting anything else power-wise. You're just upgrading what you have. They should have maybe spread that out a bit more. Overall, really great game. If you like Quantum Leap, time travel stories, you know, mysteries, sort of like thrillers. It is kind of creepy in a way when things freeze and shit's like moving around you. The graphics, by the way, are phenomenal. I thought the graphics were great. The game did crash on me once. It froze during a cutscene. Not during the TV show, but during an actual in-game cutscene. For some reason, it froze up and crashed, and then I had to go back, and I was right where I left off, but it was weird. Overall, really great game. I mean, I would recommend Quantum Break, as I said, around the $30, $40 range, which is where you're going to get it for now. So I would definitely say give it a shot if you like Max Payne, Alan Wake, or story-driven like action shooters. Thanks, guys, for watching. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Be good.